Welcome into the DNVR Rockies Podcast. I'm your host, Suzie Hunter. I am joined by Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you? Did you have fun at the spring game yesterday?
Besides being in the cold, yes.
Did you warm up afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah, listen, the runs are springing down in Mexico City right now. But not for the Rockies. In this very hitter-friendly ballpark, the Rockies have, for some reason, had a little bit of trouble getting it together. We're in the 8th inning right now. Top of the 8th inning. It's an ESPN game today, by the way. Houston, top of the 8th, 2 outs. It's 6-2. Jake Bird's pitching. Not a great start to his inning. But let me know, are you guys watching with me? Are we? Oh, Sergio loves the jersey. All right, for those of us watching on YouTube, yes, I'm wearing the mariachi jersey, courtesy of Joey Traub from the Albuquerque Isotopes. Thank you for hooking it up. I've been dying to wear this jersey. This seemed like a great opportunity. And I wore it with a green shirt, too, because I wanted to match the Mexican flag. Because when people see me, they just think of the Mexican flag. It's a good color combo. I've got a lot going on right now. I'm very excited. Are we doing a pitching change? Is that what's happening? All right. Nick Mears is coming in for Jake Bird, who got the first 2 outs of the 6th inning. But this is Jake Bird's inning so far that we're watching. Hit by pitch, walk, an Alex Bregman RBI single. Yordan Alvarez lined out. Kyle Tucker grounded out, but a run scored. And then he walked Pena. So we got 2 men on, one man in scoring position. And yeah, that'll be it for Jake Bird. Nick Mears is going to take over on the mound. I'm wondering who's going to take over hitting for the Rockies, because 2 runs this whole game, none of them homers. Meanwhile, the Astros have hit a couple. They've hit 3 homers so far this game. Maybe they stop. All right, Danny Riz in the chat. When will we be able to develop pitching? I think this is kind of the theme of like how do you develop pitching when you're pitching in such a hitter-friendly environment? It's really hard. You know, and I think maybe no one knows how to fix it right now. Maybe the solution is like we just don't have teams at elevation anymore. But that's not going to happen. So that's not going to happen. Well, I mean, they're not selling the Rockies anytime soon, guys. Like, that's just like a thing that has been said by Dick Monfort himself. He's not selling the team. It's a generational asset. He wants to give it to his kids. So, like, just don't hold your breath for that. I think the only solution is we need to add more teams at elevation. I'm ready for the chaos of Salt Lake. There you go. I would love Mexico City to be an expansion team. Why not? It's the biggest city in North America. How far of a flight is Mexico City from here?
Probably gotta be pretty short, right?
I know they're in the central time zone. They align with the central time zone. So it's not even like it would be like a whole new sports time zone. There's already so many teams in the central time zone. And there's just one in mountain time. And you're looking at them.
Just us.
Hold on. I actually am going to look up how far Mexico City is travel-wise, unless you guys know off the top of your heads. But Danny in the chat also adding, yes, pitching has not been great on the road as well. I mean, you can make the excuse that, you know, switching between pitching environments is not as easy as it sounds. But, I mean, at this point, other Rockies teams have gotten it together. This one is definitely struggling a lot more than most Rockies teams we have watched. So that's that. And that's all right, it's the top of the 8th. What just happened? Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so Yainer Diaz, their catcher, just doubled, 2 runs scored. It's now an 8-2 ball game. So we kind of saw this yesterday, too, in that the Astros held a little bit of a lead for a long time, but kept chipping away. making that lead bigger. And now, like in these late innings, they've just run away with it. That was the first batter that Nick Mears faced, by the way. All right, directions to Mexico City. Get me out of here. Just straight up from Denver. All right. How long is this flight? We also have like 5 million people in the bar right now. So, they gave me driving directions. It's only a 28-hour drive. That's closer. That's probably about the same drive from here to Seattle. It would just be like having another Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty south. Hold on a second. Give me the flights. Is this fun? Is this fun for you guys? It is it's an under 4-hour flight. So I actually think that is very reasonable to add an expansion team. I think that'd be super fun. I'm shipping it.
Do it.
I'm also shipping bringing the A's back to Philly because why the fuck not? Why not? Danny is so active in the chat. Move Doyle to the leadoff spot. Option Nolan Jones till he gets right. We need to change something on offense. Okay, Nolan Jones did have a double today. All right. An RBI double? Let me check the notes. No, not an RBI double. But hey, the next hit scored a run. So it helped. It all contributes. I am actually all for putting Brenton Doyle in the leadoff spot. I think it's wild that he's in the number 2 spot, especially considering the chatter around Doyle is, wow, what a great center fielder. It's a shame he can't hit. And now he's hitting better than anyone on the team right now, pretty much. Like he's got it right now. What he did in the offseason is working for him. What's his secret? Can he share that secret with his teammates? No, everyone's trying so hard. That's the problem. Like everyone's pressing a little bit too hard right now. And you just kind of get like caught in this just downward spiral of not hitting. Because hitting's contagious. And also slumps are contagious. But anyway, we are heading to the middle of the 8th. Can the Rockies answer those runs? Yeah, that was a 4-run inning for the Astros. Oof is right.
Maybe this season will be the reverse. Normally, they always start out so hot, and everyone gets so excited, and then we start the downward curve. Maybe it's just going to be the opposite this season.
Honestly, last year they were off to a slow start too, and then what happened?
True.
My phone is making so many noises, which some of them are good notifications letting me know that maybe the Astros have scored. Can I get one for the Rockies, please? Please? Siri's trying to talk to me now. All right. Anyway, guys. Will Carpenter, welcome to the party. How much longer before Jordan Beck and his enormous OPS gets called up? Yeah, that is a really good question. He's been really great. A lot of our minor leaguers have been cooking right now. And just because you're cooking in the minors doesn't mean you're ready to cook with the big kids. But yeah, no, he's definitely got a lot of potential. All right. Listen, no matter what, you're ready to play with the kids, with the big kids over at Volo Sports because they've got Volo Pass. So it's a modern day sport and social club, and you can get this for $20 a month. You can get it for $10 a month for the first 3 months when you use code DNVR3. But Volo Pass, great way to meet new people, to get active, to play games in the city that you live in. And if you're traveling, you can also play games in the city you don't live in. You can get all of the same perks in any Volo city, which I think is very cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, right? Because I travel a lot, especially this time of year. Once y'all are done with your playoff runs, I can finally maybe go on some trips. But yeah, great way to meet new people, stay active. And it's not just, games and tournaments and all that. They have fitness classes, they have events. And I know a lot of people in a lot of leagues have a lot of fun here at the DNVR bar partying afterwards. But again, that code DNVR3 is going to get you $10 for the first 3 months of Volo Pass. All right. Hey, Circa, our friends at Circa, are you guys going to Vegas anytime soon? I know it's hot this time of year, but they've got stadium swim, a 4,000 person capacity mega pool. There's 6 pools. There's 2 spas. There's a ton of cabanas. There's swim up bars, super cabanas for when you're having a bachelorette party with 50 of your best friends. You can do that at Circa Casino Resort. But yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Take the playoff plunge at Circa Stadium Swim to watch your favorite teams play during the playoffs. Use code DNVR20 for 20% off your room. That is a really good deal, especially with all the money you may or may not be spending and making back when you go to Vegas. But yeah, experience Stadium Swim. Watch your favorite teams at Circa Resort and Casino. Book your stay using code DNVR20. That's DNVR20 for 20% off. All right. Let's address the chat. I am so happy to see you guys all in here, by the way. Phil Palmer in the chat. British guy with no affiliation to Colorado. Why did I choose this team as my team? Make it make sense. I would love to know when you hopped on the bandwagon, because to be fair, we're not that far off from really fun seasons to hop on the bandwagon, like 2017, 2018, teams that were competitive in the playoffs and still in a really tough division. And if you joined around then, it makes a lot of sense. Also, I mean, like if you're going to join a team, if you're going to like pick up a team, join the bandwagon, it's a lot more fun to, do it when they're underdogs, so you can like really appreciate the rise. But that being said, I don't know if you've seen the rise yet. It's coming. Sergio in the chat is suggesting maybe you join the Rockies fandom, because I'm also part of the Rockies fandom. I'll take that. I'll take that piece of credit. All right. We are in the bottom of the 8th right now. What have we missed? All right. Sean Bouchard struck out, but Jacob Stallings on base right now hit a single. We're not, sharing live play-by-play. We're watching the same game you guys are. Just like to be very clear. Hey, Danny, yeah, the Avs win was insane. I've been here all afternoon at the bar, so yeah, the hat trick was pretty epic. I was like, I asked AJ, I was like, what do they do with all the hats? He's like, they donate it to charity. Like, that's not obvious. I'm like, you know what? Thank you. No, he wasn't that sassy with me.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Man, they've come storming back. They were a little rocky to start this series.
Right? Yeah. No, they're back in it, Getting back on the parade there. All right. Yeah, no Rockies homers yet this game. And we've got Ryan Presley pitching for the Astros. We did see Cal Quantrill just do an interview on ESPN. I love that this is the ESPN game. This is the first Rockies national game all year, by the way. But it was so funny. Alyssa, I'll fill you in on this. So before the guys all left for Mexico City, we talked to Cal because he was starting the first game. And the guys all had an off day on Friday. Like, they got in late Thursday night, had the off day Friday. Game is on Saturday, but Cal has the start on Saturday. So we were like, do you guys have any fun excursions planned? Like field trips, any restaurants y'all are going to hit up? He's like, I don't have anything planned because I'm going to be the starting pitcher the next day. So I don't really know what I'm going to be able to do. So we're like, oh, darn it, Cal. Like, good for you, though. Being responsible, team on your back. No, good news, though. Him and some of the guys did go to, there's a great museum in Mexico City, and they got a chance to go there. They got some food.
I've heard the food down there is incredible.
I've heard it's one of the best food scenes in the world. So I am dying to go to Mexico City. I'm so sad it didn't work out for this. But all right, we're still in the bottom of the 8th. Alan Trejo got the start today, by the way. Got the start at second base over Brendan Rodgers, who, has been struggling a little bit at the plate as well. But Alan Trejo hasn't really gotten anything done, and I'm kind of bummed because he's pretty beloved in Mexico, especially after last year's WBC. They really got to know him. He grew up in Southern California, but still has a lot of family in Mexico. I thought it was really cool. They were saying on the broadcast that he had, I think, 15 or 16 relatives there, and a lot of them haven't gotten the chance to see him play because they just haven't gotten up to Colorado. But hey, he's back in He's down in Mexico, so I think a lot of family got to see him play that hadn't gotten the chance to previously. All right, 8th inning is over after Tovar grounds into a force out. We're heading to the 9th, and the Rockies are the home team, so no matter what, we're getting a full inning. It's weird that the Rockies are the home team for this because they clearly do not have the home field advantage in terms of the fan base, because the Astros have a lot of fans in Mexico, and you can see it in the stands. Like the broadcast finds some Rockies fans in the stands, but it is overwhelmingly looking like Houston. All right, Phil in the chat is clarifying when he hopped on the Rockies bandwagon. 2018 to 2019 was the time that I joined. It's coming. And yes, Suzie is fantastic. Go Rocks. Thank you so much. Wow. Like, what a nice comment. What a nice comment. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, 2018 was a fun time to hop on the wagon. And now look at us. No, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Thank you guys, everyone, for joining this pod where it's like part watch along, part series wrap. One of the series overalls. Okay, the first game we saw 18 runs between two teams, 1 home run from the Rockies. Oh, by the way, Ryan McMahon's homer in Saturday's game, he joins Dante Bichette as the only other Rockies player in franchise history to hit a home run in an international game. I am so shocked that we have not seen just a couple more Rockies home runs. I mean, I wasn't expecting the sweep. I was kind of hoping for the sweep because these two teams came in with the same record. Obviously, the Astros are struggling with something, but it turns out they're struggling not as badly as the Rockies right now. But yeah, 18 runs. Here's the interesting thing. Okay, a stat from last year. The first game, there were so many home runs in last year's Mexico series, Giants-Padres. They had 15 home runs between those two games, both teams, in Mexico City last year. We have not had that many home runs this year, and I'm kind of shocked. Another like difference, though, that we've noticed, we should pull up the dimensions. The dimensions. This is such a symmetrical field. I'm so fascinated by this. But apparently another big factor too, the turf is so slick and balls just move so differently when they hit it compared to Coors Field, compared to, I would imagine it looks like also compared to Minute Maid Park, also turf. The inventors of AstroTurf. That's where it got the name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was like they were kind of the first to try it. Okay. When I went to Minute Maid Park, I was very fortunate. So I got a tour from probably the best person who could possibly give a tour. He was the head of giving tours, but also like kind of, I don't know if he was officially or unofficially the team historian, but he has so much Astros memorabilia that we were walking around. He gave us such a thorough tour where I like left that like, oh my gosh, I learned way too much. You know what I mean?
That's so cool.
But as we were walking around, he'd be like, oh yeah, that thing in that case is like from my collection that I'm lending them.
Oh, how cool.
Just a guy who's like super into the history of his team. But like one of the things is that like, yeah, they were the first to have like that artificial turf. And oh gosh, are we still on?
Yes, I just don't know what happened.
All right, guys. All right, we're still here. This is why we do it now. All right, Danny in the chat. Calling it now when we go into Miami to play the Marlins. We're going to get swept. And they've been playing awful baseball. Yeah, I think the Astros are one of two teams that are doing worse than the Rockies right now. Even, did I see that the White Sox swept? Who were they playing? They were playing the Rays. The White Sox swept the Rays? That's crazy to me. Because the Rays aren't a bad team. Yeah, they really did. So you're telling me that the... Hold on a second. Let me formulate my thoughts here. You're telling me the 6-22 Chicago White Sox swept a team before the Rockies could even get it together to win a series. I am so disappointed. This is not how I saw this season going. Will in the chat, the Astrodome tried to use natural grass in their field for the first year and it all died. Yeah, that story sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Yeah. Because it doesn't get enough sun. Hot as hell down there. Humid as hell down there. It's just, there's a lot of weather going on in Houston, you know? A lot of that. All right. Hey, we're at the top of the 9th. We got a ground out and a fly out, so I'll take that. Shutting it down a little bit. It's only a 6-run game, guys. It's only a 6-run game. The Rockies did have, we'll really get into what we saw in Saturday's game. But I mean, the Rockies did have a mini comeback in the 9th inning yesterday. They scored 2 runs. Yeah, just a huge difference, though, in numbers between the two teams, especially Saturday. Saturday's game, 12 runs on 15 hits for the Astros versus 4 runs on 8 hits for the Rockies. All right, top of the 9th is over. We're heading to the bottom of the 9th, and Brenton Doyle is leading that inning off. So we got Doyle, Mac, Diaz. 3 guys who have shown us that they can put some hits together. Chungus man in the chat. What does that mean? Does that mean something bad that I should not be saying? I'm so clueless. Rockies fans exist? ? Yeah, welcome to the party, man. We're all here right now. We are all here. All right, hold on. Danny in the chat. Mariners are playing great baseball. Everyone was freaking out about Julio's bad start, but now he's getting hot. Also, yeah, where is the rally cap? I don't have any hats on me. Or is there a hat in the studio? I don't have a hat within reach. Rally, I don't know what to rally with right now. You know what? We'll work on this. Oh, okay. Whose hat is that?
I don't know.
All right, toss it to me. I'm gonna wear it inside out anyway. Okay, hello. I'm doing this for you guys. We're rally capping it. All right, so inside out, as is customary. Am I supposed to try to flip this brim too? Or just like...
Oh, yeah.
Wow, she looks amazing.
Love it.
She looks great.
It's really not bad.
You know what? Honestly, it's giving cute little sailor hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh Hader is coming in to pitch for the Astros for this last half inning. And Trey Cabbage is replacing Kyle Tucker. Trey Cabbage, what a name. It's very Cabbage to me. All right. Before we talk about the finale of this game, and even there's a lot of noise happening from my computer right now between my own YouTube show playing, apparently, and the game itself playing on my computer. We'll see if it... Remember when my computer died in the middle of a show? Yes. And then it never came back to life? I had to get a new computer. Wait, that happened to Manny on the show.
Oh, yeah, huh?
His laptop died, but he already had a new laptop. He's like, oh, I knew it was about to die. I'm like, you could have just switched before you did an interview on my live show. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? We got to talk about our friends at Game Time because the Rockies are going to be back in town before you know it. So, hey, you can get tickets now. I would suggest waiting a little closer to first pitch because you're going to save up to 60% off when buying last-minute tickets, not just for baseball, but all the sports, all the concerts, all the comedy shows, theater, etc. We have all of that entertainment happening in Denver. You can use Game Time to your advantage. You're going to see a view from your seat, so you don't have to question what kind of view you're going to have or if you're going to like your view. Before you get to the stadium, you can see it, is what I'm trying to say. And a lowest price guaranteed. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if they don't give you the lowest price. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but the first step is to download the app, create an account, and redeem code DNVR. Get that $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Oof. All right. Hey guys, it's Die Hard season. It's always Die Hard season, no matter what sport's playing. And we've got a great thing going on. You can watch all of the Colorado games right here at the DNVR bar with game sound and come through. Get that 15% off your entire bill as a DNVR Die Hard member. You're also going to get 20% off of merch all the time. And you're going to get a free shirt when you join. This is a great time to join if you haven't already, because you can get the Jamal Took a Shot shirt. An iconic Anthony Davis quote that will live forever in Denver sports history. Yeah. But anyway, lots of great discounts, lots of great things. Oh, and it's, honestly, get it done before Broncos tailgate season too. Anyway, go to thednvr.com to find out more about that. All right. Oh, I still have my directions to Mexico City. It would only take 26 days to walk to Mexico City. But that's nonstop. That's 1,700 miles. And I don't think you're allowed to cross the border by foot like that. I feel like that's like a huge political issue right now. I feel like that's the root of a lot of problems. All right. Hey, Brenton Doyle leadoff single, but Ryan McMahon struck out as batter number 2. What did I say? Hello. These are 3 guys you would love to see starting off an inning. And please, the cap, do work. Please do work. Yeah, Danny is lobbying Bud Black officially for moving Doyle to the leadoff spot. I don't hate it. I'm super into it. I think he's in terms of offense, he's hot right now. I love his turnaround. I love his story arc. I love his character development. Brenton Doyle. His birthday's coming up, by the way. He and Brenton Doyle and Kyle Freeland have the same birthday. Different years, but same birthday. Happy Taurus season to those who observe. All right, Phil, let's get this game wrapped up now. It's near midnight. Oh, it's so late for you. That's right. Because time zones. That is dedication. We salute you. Phil, I do have a question for you. Hello, Phil, in the chat. Are you only watching today because it's an ESPN game, or do you have access to all of the games? I'm actually very curious about what people are able to watch abroad. Yeah. I would love to know the access. Will Carpenter in the chat, the Yard Goats tweeted out someone carrying around one of their 3-foot-long hot dogs covered in mustard and sauerkraut. I would love a little more context. Like, were they roasting that person, or were they like, yes, go for it? I have a friend out on the East Coast who like would go to Yard Goats games with me sometimes. Wow, that was a tongue twister. But he's like known for eating crazy foods. But he got hot dogs. And he was like, more onions, please. And like, these are not like grilled onions. These were like raw onions, just chopped. He was like, more, please. They're just a pile. It's like, listen, there's a lot of right and wrong ways to eat a hot dog, but that was not one of them.
I like onions, but not a pile on a hot dog.
I do love onions. I'm on like I've had heartburn for the first time in my life right now. And I've also been on like the biggest spicy food kick of my life.
And it's painful. It's more painful than you would ever think it is.
I'm just like not used to it because also like I eat spicy food all the time, but I've just like upped it a little more. And like my boyfriend's like, well, you're like old now, so like yeah, you get heartburn.
Just
like,
hits you one day out of nowhere, and you're like, great.
Yeah, it's here now. It's here now. All right, before this game closes out. All right, what do we have? Oh, okay. Here's something I think is promising. Josh Hader, wild pitch, got Brenton Doyle to second base. Brenton Doyle can do anything from second base. At least he has grounded out after that. But I like the idea that maybe their pitcher is not totally with his command. We'll see. Montero's at the plate right now. What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm on a delay. I'm on a delay. We all are. We're all watching the same game. I'm not disseminating live recap. That would be crazy. Let's talk a little bit about Saturday's game before we talk about what happened in this game that we're watching right now. 12-4 loss on Saturday. Listen, Rockies started that game off with a 2-run lead and didn't score too much after that, but gave up so much. Saturday's game was crazy too, because honestly, there was a very questionable call that robbed a run from the Rockies and kind of just like zapped the momentum away, you know? All right, game's over. We're going to bring it back to right now. Game just ended 8-2, ended on Monty grounding out. So yeah, Rockies get swept down in Mexico. I was hoping to at least split the series, but that is what we got. I will say, I think a good. I was kind of expecting this to go another way too, especially because the Astros starter Framber Valdez. Rockies like really put him to work. They held him with some very long at bats. His pitch count, let me look up his pitch count real fast because, you know, we like to take notes. He was already at 79 pitches through 5 innings. Austin Gomber was only at 65 pitches through the same amount of work. He was already at 49 pitches after 3. Like, that's a lot. The Rockies really made him work. They got their money's worth from him. But yeah, so I was kind of hoping they'd tire him out. Maybe they could get something off of him. That is not the case because... yeah, that is an 8-2 game. Alyssa, I put on Twitter earlier today because I saw someone else do this on social media. I'm like, you know what? I will run a mile for every run the Rockies score today. I could take this rally cap off because the rally's over. Okay, good. That wasn't my vibe. Where are we at time? All right. Oh, 4:30. Game's over. We can all enjoy the rest of our day after we get this show over with. Oh, yeah. But anyway, listen, I was telling you, I'm going to run a mile for every run the Rockies score. So I was like, watch, like, because I decided this, they'll score like 12 runs. And like, I don't know if I can run 12 miles right now because I haven't in a while. Like, I have run more than 12 miles. I'm like, I don't know, 12 miles. Oh, don't worry. The Rockies really kept it reasonable and small for me. Just for me. That's so nice. They know that I needed a little warm up. Yeah. Yeah, there's this Gen Z baseball girly that I found on social media earlier today named Kate, and she is I think she's a Yankees fan, but she did it for a Yankees game, and like the Yankees scored 15 runs. So she's like, all right, I'm out here running 15 miles.
No way.
All right. Oh, the guys are talking hockey in here. Wow, the chat really took a turn. All right. Hey, Will is going to point out a really interesting and unfortunate stat. The Rockies now have 28 consecutive games in which they have trailed, which ties the 1910 St. Louis Browns Major League Baseball record. Wow. But you know what? Think about it this way, okay? The St. Louis Browns, what a comeback they've had. They became the Orioles, and now look at the Orioles 124 years or 114 years later. I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. Yeah, that is a really unfortunate stat. And of course, now I think now we're at the point where this is the longest this franchise has ever gone without winning a series. That bums me out because I'm like, listen, the record's bad, but like they haven't even like gotten the best of a team for like more than a couple days in a row. Rockies haven't had a win streak more than one game also, by the way, which is a stat we saw well into last season as well. Guys, my baseball team, they are so sick. Please help them. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right. Moving on. We will talk about Saturday's game. We mentioned in the 12-4 loss, the Ryan McMahon home run. We haven't seen a lot of Rockies home runs in international games, and this series was no different. There was something very unfortunate that happened in the 5th inning of that game. Let me pull up my little scorecard. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So Brenton Doyle, all right. He hit a single. Then Elias Diaz had an RBI single. And of course, Brenton Doyle is so fast. Like, he can make it. Well, actually, he was on second by the time Elias Diaz had that single. The RBI gets taken away and the inning ends because that was the third out. Houston challenged that he didn't touch third. And they ended up ruling that, no, he didn't touch third. I don't think that's correct because they were really getting into it on the Rockies broadcast yesterday. And I think Huey was pointing out, like, you can see his foot leave the base after he's rounded it. You can see it like coming off the base. But there weren't like very good camera angles for this because we don't need a video of a guy running the bases. Like, it's a very basic thing. But apparently someone saw something and it was enough to get that taken away. And that, I mean, originally on the scoreboard, that was a run. That made it a 1-run game. It could have been 4-3 at that point. The inning could have kept going for at least another batter. And it just kind of like took all of the momentum out of that game. And the Rockies didn't score again until the 9th inning. So that was a very unfortunate event. That was just like, why do the Rockies have the worst luck? That was just one of those moments where I'm like, we didn't need another thing. Like, what was the point of that? I did think it was promising, though, Saturday's game. Nolan Jones, a walk and 2 singles. A walk. He drew a walk. He was patient enough and not chasing and actually drew a walk. And he hit 2 singles. We got a double from him today, too. So I think... maybe, I don't want to be premature, guys, but maybe, just maybe, Nolan Jones is starting to get out of his head a little bit because we know it's there. Hey, Phil, thank you so much. Phil saying good night, everyone. Good night, Phil. Enjoy your evening. We'll do some more watch-alongs for sure because that is... We like them. They're fun. We're going to do them more. Not full watch-alongs because, God, a baseball game, who knows how long it could be. But like these little partial watch-alongs as a treat. All right. Yeah. Doyle missing third base, Danny in the chat. That was definitely a moment that, listen, I've had a lot of villain origin story moments this season already. That's definitely one of them. But yeah, wondering where that Rockies offense is. It's been awfully quiet, especially this series where it's a very hitter-friendly park. We could have seen some crazy stuff. We didn't see crazy stuff. Cal Quantrill in Saturday's game, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Yordan Alvarez had never hit a home run off of Cal Quantrill before he took him yard on Saturday. Bregman does not have any home runs off of Quantrill and still doesn't. So Tyler Kinley maybe didn't have a good day at work on Saturday. 9th inning through 25 pitches, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. He was not looking very Tyler Kinley-like. And, of course, also gave up another home run to Yordan Alvarez. Yordan Alvarez's second home run of the game. Listen, the Astros offense found a great time to start clicking. What else did we see? Victor Vodnik. We saw Victor Vodnik in yesterday's game. Pitched an inning. 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He still has a super low ERA because it took him forever this season to even give up a run. He's at 2.60 right now. Yeah. Rockies offense, Rockies defense. We haven't talked Rockies defense yet. Lauris Montero. An unassisted double play in the 9th inning, by the way. To keep it tight. Hunter Goodman had an error, though. An error that maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it was an error. He had one. He's pretty new to the majors this year, but, we don't like to see it. There were a couple of moments that weren't quite errors, but like moments where just the defense wasn't very crisp. Brendan Rodgers had this like play where he kind of like bobbled a ball, like trying to throw it. And that was weird. And it's like, yeah, runners still would have scored there, but like, if he was a little sharper, like we could have gotten out there. And I think there was I think Ryan McMahon had a little misstep too, kind of like that in the 7th. No one scored on that though. But yeah, they're not errors, but like they're not very Gold Glovey. And we need, listen, if we're going to have ground ball pitchers, we need elite Gold Glove defense. And listen, the guys have had great moments, but it's not as tight as it could be, you know? Yeah, Danny in the chat talking about Tovar's offense. He was very quiet this series. Very quiet. S. Castro in the chat. It's hard to play complimentary baseball, always hoping or praying for the best. Oh, interesting. Okay, Danny. All right. This is an interesting question. I'm into this. Bud Black didn't even show emotion. If I was him, I would have gotten ejected. See, Buddy will get ejected for his guys. He will argue. We haven't seen him argue this season. We haven't seen that side of him. I wonder if because it's an international game, it's such a big deal for the Rockies to be a part of something like this. I think on the broadcast too, like the guys were comparing it to like a playoff atmosphere, which is something that the Rockies haven't felt in a long time. So it's a lot of eyes on you. Listen, I'm just speculating again because no one asked him this in the post game, and we don't have a chance to ask him this right now, but I do wonder if maybe he didn't get so heated because it's such a special international game, didn't want to embarrass the Rockies. But at the same time, like, yeah, I am now thinking about this too. Like, what if he just went ham on those umps and was like, no, that is very disappointing. I'm like, is this payback for Matt Holliday touching home? God. Is this a payback? Well, I know. So Patrick Saunders wrote that column for the Post about how things have kind of been downhill ever since DJ LeMahieu left. And he was like, that's the curse. What if it's actually Matt Holliday?
You might be onto something.
What if I'm unwell? These guys have me unwell. What else do we want to talk about? I don't want to hold y'all too longer. We're going to wrap it up soon, I promise. The Astros, I will say, okay, in defense of the Rockies, the Astros had a great pitcher on the mound on Saturday. Blanco threw a no-hitter already this season, and then in his next start, took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. So, like, he's cooking. That's an insane stat. So I think going into that game, 1.33 ERA through 27 innings pitched. His area is down to, oh no, I'm sorry. It actually went up after that game that he only gave up 2 runs to the Rockies. That's how good this guy is. 1.65 after that game. I don't know if you guys noticed in Saturday's game, Chas McCormick played all outfield positions for the Astros. Oh, that was fun. But he did say after that game, a bad turn of events. That was his quote. It was a bad turn of events. He did say that was Ryan McMahon's best swing of the season. It was a pretty good home run. I think it was like almost 460 feet. 459 is what it was. I didn't even write that down. I just have nothing else going on in my life. Yeah. All right, guys. That was a game. That was a series. The guys are heading to Miami next. What a trip also. Mexico City, Miami, and then Pittsburgh, Legitsburg. That's like a great ballpark. That's obviously like one of the best ballparks that you can get. Where are the Marlins right now? Let's check on them. I want to check on them before we go there. They have Monday off too, by the way, which is weird. The next couple of weeks, super weird Rockies schedules. Okay. Bear with me while we look up some current numbers, folks. All right. Oh, you know what? The Marlins are catching up to us in the standings. Rockies are 7-21. Marlins are 6-23. So, okay, these teams that have been suffering along with us, even worse than us, are starting to like get some wins, get on the board. White Sox are 6-22 now. Wow, that's it. Danny, Rockies need to call up Todd Helton and make him the hitting coach. Hey, we'll give Bam Bam another chance, okay? Skylar, if we lose this next series to Miami, this is a must-win series in my opinion. That's a great must-win for you in terms of like a fan, or like do you think it's must-win or else like just it's off the rails? Please clarify here in the Toyota chat. All right. Yeah, that was a game, guys. That was a series. That was an interesting one, to say the least. And yeah, I think they forgot to... Did they turn the humidor up a little too high? Because we did not have as many runs as I was hoping for. But that's baseball. They do say that. Will in the chat, the Cardinals lost to the Mets on a walk-off home run, then that went off an outfielder's glove. That's hilarious. Couldn't be the Rockies. The Rockies have had so much bad luck. Like that Jacob Stallings home run that they were like, you know what? It's not even a ground rule double. It's just going to be an out. Rude. I will never get over that. That's my actual villain origin story.
Give us a break. Come on.
Yeah, no, the Rockies can't catch a break in that sense, but it sure doesn't help that they are not doing themselves any favors getting in their own way here. All right. Okay. We're going to wrap it up. What is the schedule this week? We're doing a show. Is it a 6:30 show? A 6:30 show on Tuesday during the Marlins game. We're going to do a little 7th inning stretch show, a little watch along. And I think we're going to go at noon on Thursday. Yeah, to wrap up the Marlins series. We'll see how we're feeling then. It could be a lot better. It could be a lot worse. But this is an interesting road trip in that the Rockies back-to-back are just facing two of the most struggling teams in baseball. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Alyssa, where can we follow you on social media?
At Amory21.
Amory21. That's where you can find her. You can find me at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. I tweet out my scorecards every single day, every single game. I do that for you guys, even though none of you ask for it.
Oh, great though.
Thank you. You know what? It's just like we're having a good handwriting era.
Exactly. Yes, I love it.
I didn't know if I still had good handwriting because like I haven't like used the iPad for scorekeeping until this season. But I was like, I haven't written notes since high school. Right. She's still got it. If anything, she's better than ever. All right. Reeling it in. Guys, follow all the latest Rockies news and updates at DNVR_Rockies. And Alyssa, you know what I love to say about closing out a show like this?
That's baseball. Oh my gosh, how do I?
It is baseball.
Baseball.
That's baseball.
That's baseball. That's it. That's what it is.
Danny, I'm at the Suzie Hunter on all platforms. I don't know what part of that wasn't clear. Type it in the chat. Fine, we'll type it. I'm sorry. That was rude of me. That's baseball. Thank you guys for being here. That's baseball. That's the show. We will talk to you at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday, right back here on the DNVR Sports YouTube channel. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.